mentioned earlier na dapat the architect, the engineer, and the interior designer should be consulted all together.
Yes.
But is it possible to just get RT? Or just, architect, engineer, wala nang ID. Ganon.
It's not to say that engineers cannot do design and then cannot do architectural works, because I'm pretty sure that they also have a subject or a curriculum that tackled architecture, because architecture is a mixture of the science and the art of it, and as compared to engineering, where it's just basically kind of not saying that there's no art in engineering, but that's more of the science of how everything is going to be built in such a way that everything is sturdy and everything can be, can last 20 years or so or more, because 20 years is actually the healthy lifetime of a house. With regards to how the aesthetics and the science of it, and of course with regards to planning, yun talaga ang where architects come in. Kasi kita mo talaga yung difference when an architect plans and an engineer plans. An engineer, and I'm not saying that this is for all engineers, because I'm sure that there are engineers that already know how to do this. But engineers are more concerned with maximizing materials. Some architects are also very this good that they also now consider how to maximize on materials. Example, if you design a place, you try to maximize on the sizes of readily available materials, like yung bakal, yung length of the bakal. And this is where engineers are really good at, to maximize materials. So even if hindi siya maganda, sometimes, I'm not saying this is for everyone, kahit hindi maganda yung spacing, as long as mas maximize yung materials mo doon, they're gonna stick with that. Unlike architects, now of course, because they have to balance the aesthetics, the planning, other than the standards, they also syempre consider the needs of the clients and the needs of spaces of the clients. And that is naman where we as interior designers are more specific about the needs of the client, because sometimes ito naman ang difference between an architect and interior designer, because architects normally design the layout, the planning. We also as interior designers actually also do that. We also try to lay out all the needs of the client. But what makes us different naman is we go into the nitty-gritty details that not a lot of architects can be patient about. To be honest, it's not I'm not saying that architects are not patient. It's just that those nitty-gritty details are really what are being paid for, so that even to the littlest fabric of the throw pillows, to the fabric of the couch, to the fabric of the curtains, to all those things, to the fabric of what you're going to be using for your bed, to the headboard of so that's just fabric. And then how about all the other things, accessories like curtain rods even, right? So although even the way cabinets will bang on, we have to think about those things. We have to ask those things.
So that's part of interior designers job.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, ngayon ko lang nalaman yan.
All sounds like it's a very luxurious or a very pang social na
interior designer parang sounds mahal.
But we have to remember that actually one of the important responsibilities of us as interior designers is that we actually do research, especially if our client has special needs. So those things are actually what makes my profession at least worth it, because if you consult a doctor to address a medical condition, we also are problems solvers, and we are also consulted with regards to conditions that are special like that. For example, if there's a sensitivity for your child that she's easily bruised, so we have to consider those things in an interior space, and that's the other part of our profession that nobody sees. They think that it's all about just aesthetics, and it's all about just playing with, everyone can do it because you just have to have an eye. But we have to remember that there is this responsibility. That's why we have a license to do it. For example, let's just say, if you're asked to design a penal system, like a kulungan, you cannot just design it in such a way that you for example, the cafeteria, you cannot design it na malalapit sila sa isa't isa.
Mm.
Because apparently, based on research, people who are inside jails are more sensitive with their back. Meaning to say, they don't want it that someone is close to their back. They are more suspicious and they are more alert and they are more aggressive that way. So you have to space them like because they feel like somebody's gonna be attacking them from their back end, so they're more aware of their backs. And this is based from research. This is based from the law of proximity, from proxemics, from psychologists. So that's actually that's the other side of interior design that that nobody. Of course, kasi the only side of interior design that we see are those parang mga mansions and, baking things.
Kasi nga ayaw kayong kausapin kasi daw mahal kayo. Kaya ayaw, alam mo, parang kayong insurance agent, iniiwasan kayo ng tao. Diba?
But that's naman there is a study behind it.